The first week in my new apartment was almost perfect, except for the nights. A faint whisper would drift into my bedroom just as I was about to fall asleep, always murmuring my name. Clara. Clara. It was unsettling, but I convinced myself it was just thin walls and noisy neighbors. I'd pound on the drywall, shouting for them to keep it down, but the whispering never stopped. It felt personal, intimate, like someone was right there in the room with me, their lips just inches from my ear. The sound was so faint, yet it filled the oppressive silence of the night. Frustrated, I complained to the building manager. He just gave me a strange look and pulled out the building's floor plan. "That's impossible," he said, tapping a finger on the blueprint of my unit. "That wall, it's a sheer wall. There's no apartment on the other side. It's just support beams and insulation." A cold dread washed over me. If there was no one on the other side, then where was the voice coming from? The whispering was no longer just an annoyance. It was a violation, an unexplainable presence in my private space. That night, the whispers changed. They stopped just calling my name and started telling me things. They spoke of the secret crush I had in middle school, the one I never told a soul. They whispered about the lie I told my mother just last week. These were secrets buried deep within me, thoughts no one else could possibly know. The voice detailed my deepest fears and my most shameful moments with a chilling, familiar glee. It felt like my own mind was being turned against me, its contents broadcast from inside the cold, empty wall. My sanity fraying, I decided I needed proof. I set up my phone to record, placing it directly against the wall. I sat in silence, my heart pounding in my chest, and waited. When I played the recording back, my blood ran cold. The familiar whisper was there, telling my secrets, but underneath it, nearly drowned out, was another voice, a desperate, terrified scream. It was a woman's voice, raw and frantic, begging, "Let me out, please, someone help me." It was a plea from a tomb. I called maintenance, my voice trembling as I insisted they had to open the wall. They thought I was crazy, but I was relentless. Finally, they relented, cutting a hole into the drywall. We peered into the dark cavity with flashlights. The space was empty, filled with nothing but dust and insulation. But then the light caught something on the back of the drywall. Deep, frantic scratch marks, like a trapped animal had tried to claw its way out. There was no body, no source of the voice, just the silent, desperate evidence of a struggle. They sealed the wall, and I was left alone with the silence. That night, I lay awake in bed, paralyzed by fear, staring at the freshly patched wall. The silence was heavier than ever before. Then, at exactly 3 a.m., the whisper returned, clearer and closer than it had ever been. It wasn't coming from inside the wall anymore. It was right next to my ear. "Move over," it hissed, a puff of cold air against my cheek. I finally found a way out.